a long week, actually from Monday to Saturday yesterday, and then we have come to a Sunday, a very calm Sunday, no church, no what. But as usual, this is your host, Hamadi Murila. Welcome you to this show. I want to introduce you to a very nice, brief cooking session of a beef recipe. I know you are out there in the house, you have been waiting for this show so that you can prepare something very quick for the family. So don't worry, we are going to be very brief on this, and you're going to enjoy what you're going to do here. And as usual, you know, TV47 is streaming live on GoTV, it's on Star Times, and it's actually on Bamba TV, and you can also stream it live from the website, the TV47 website, and you can also follow these on the I Cook You Eat page on Facebook. So guys, the numbers going down there, they are streaming down there. You can send a message to the number down there, you can call, you can ask all the questions you want so that you can get all the feedback you require for the next show or anything you want us to do on this show that you haven't seen. So guys, very fast to what we're going to do today. You see we have our beef here. This boiled beef. It's like half a kilo, this boiled beef. And then after the beef, we are going to just use these ingredients. We have two medium-sized tomatoes, we have one large onion, and then we have garlic here. We're only going to use 3 cloves of this. And then we have curry powder. We are using curry powder because it is going to help us reduce the use of so many spices. Curry powder has the mixture of cumin, has the mixture of paprika, it has the mixture of cardamom, cinnamon, it has bay leaves and many other special ingredients. So those not ingredients but spices. So if you have this curry powder, it's just a very simple spice. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of it. And then we have cooking powder here, which can be any company that you prefer. And then we have black pepper. So our very first step is to make sure that we chop our onions into rings. I always do rings. I enjoy rings. They make the final product look really nice. So I'm going to do very thin rings. One of the many reasons we are doing such thin rings is because you want to make sure that our onions cook well and easily. So I'm going to chop the whole onion into fine rings. On the final stage, normally because you're almost finishing to cut the onion, you realize the final stage normally leaves with a very small margin for you to prepare more rings. So you just chop the remaining onion. There's no harm in that. So you're going to come here to our cooker down here so that we want to continue with the process. We're going to use moderate heat. So I'm going to introduce these onions here. Then I'm going to add my cooking oil, close to about a quarter cup. I'm going to use a lot of it. You want something, that's enough. You can always drain the remaining on a paper towel like that and wipe, and then you can put it back there. So as this process continues, remember we have our spatula here. Make sure that it's the silicone one to make sure that you don't spoil your nasty cooking pots. So you do that. So we're going to give some time for these onions to cook. We're not going to wait until they are browned, but they're just almost browning, turning to golden brown, and then we're going to start adding some of the other ingredients we have. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to add a little bit of salt, which is here. Can just take it kidogo like that. This close to about just half a teaspoon, because if you put too much of it, remember salt is an ingredient anyone can add on the table. So if you put too much of it in this initial stage, some people might not actually enjoy this meat. So as that goes on, we are going to pound our garlic. So I said I'm using 3 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to chop them first. Then after I chop them, I'm going to introduce them into the mortar. Like that. To make my work very easy, I'm going to put a little bit of salt, very little salt. I think you can see I put very little salt. We're not putting much, just a little bit of the salt. So I'm going to put that. This is going to help us grind our, or maybe pound our garlic very easily. Make sure that you pound it very finely. You can see we are done. This is our final product for the pounded garlic. So from there, we now want to make sure that we chop our tomatoes into also very nice small cubes. And there's a way we are going to do that. Remember to wash this. I've already washed mine, but make sure that in the house you wash it well. You can also just do this way. These are tomatoes, there's no harm. You can always do that. As long as you bring out the nice fine cubes. Then go to the next, like that. Like that. That. And from there, proceed to the cubes. These are, we make sure that we do this so that our tomatoes can cook very well. You also have the option of blending this. So that is it. We're going to put them together. But remember, there's another procedure going on the cooking, in the cooking pot. So we are going to come here, stir this. So as they get ready, we are going to introduce our garlic into this mix. So I'm going to take my garlic. I'm going to use the same, I can just use this same spoon. Like that. Like that. And there was some that had stuck on the pestle. Remember guys, if you have any question, there's an SMS number going on, or maybe streaming down on your screen. Follow that SMS number. Write your messages there, we'll be responding them. Maybe we'll be responding to them so that you have knowledge of everything that is happening. The advantage of using non-stick cooking pots is that you use very little oil, and you can always find these cooking pots at Super Smart Kitchen and General Household Appliances. It's on Facebook. You can always find nice, good quality cooking pots. So these cooking pots are very essential in making sure that you are eating healthy food. And by eating healthy food, I mean you're using little oil. You're not using too much oil. If you use too much oil on non-stick cooking pots, your food will be soggy with a lot of oil. So at this stage, remember I had I talked about the spices that you're going to use. The last spice that you're going to add will be this cooking powder. So we don't need this right now. So we are going to put it aside like that. So we have two. You have black powder, black pepper. So this black pepper, I'm going to put the whole of it. It's actually, I had measured it. It's the black pepper. It's 1 teaspoon. You mix like that. Don't worry, it won't be a lot. It will be just the right measure for the half a kg of. Then make sure that after you put every spice, you stir. This enables it to mix well and cook. And then our next spice is the curry powder. This one is very available in most shops. So you can put that curry powder there. Then mix again so that it can also cook by itself. At this stage, some guys wonder why they cook food and then later they smell so many spices in the food. It's because your spices don't cook well. And the best step to introduce spices is actually when you're frying the onions and the garlic. This helps that hot oil to burn, not to burn, but to heat the spices well and make sure that they are cooked well and efficiently. So that you've seen what I've done there. So what is our next step? Our next step is now to introduce the meat in this mix. So it's here. We're going to introduce it here like this. Like that. Then I'm going to stir it like that. Remember, I've not yet if you follow the steps, you realize that I've not put the tomatoes yet. I want to cook this meat here and allow it to brown. This step also gives us enough time to ensure that these spices penetrate the meat well. Because the moment you're going to introduce the tomatoes on this pot, you're going to have you're going to have a good mix, yes, but the spices won't cook as well. So put them during this time and let the meat mix well with the spices. So you do that. You can always put your spatula on the side, and as this process continues, you make sure that you're very observant. It's not supposed to take more than 5 minutes, so that you don't burn the meat and you also don't overcook it. Yeah, so guys, as I've said, you can go to Facebook when I Cook You Eat, find us there. It's ICOOKUEAT. You're going to find very nice recipes. TV47 is also on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, and it also streams live on its on website. Yeah. So as these steps go on, I've told you that we're going to do this for 5 minutes. So after every minute, we are going to stir them as we allow the meat to brown for the pole. So we do that. After at least 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, you can always open, stir, and allow it to cook. As I said, guys, you're not taking too long. We want to make sure that we don't burn our onions, but we also just allow our meat to cook into this mix well. If you haven't read the SMS number well, please, it's 22047. Maybe you might not be seeing it very clearly. Maybe you're sitting far from the TV and you're not seeing all this well. So the SMS number is 22407. Send your message there. It's a toll-free message. You won't be charged, so that you can give you answers to some of your questions. I think you can now see what you wanted. It is not supposed to brown very much, but just to that level. And then we now want to get to our next step. which is now introducing the tomatoes. You see, just gently like that. And then you'll realize that I'll just distribute them evenly in the cooking pot. Like this, like that. And then I stir. This beef is going to be wet fry. It's not beef stew. It's just wet fry. So we are not going to put any soup. So, wale mnapenda supu, sorry for today. We can do that next time. Like that. And then you're going to cover it and allow the tomatoes to cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. It's not a long time. So if you leave it again for so long, you might end up burning your food. So try to control the timings very well. The whole amount of time you're going to cook this beef, you realize that after boiling, I think you know the secrets of boiling, how to boil faster. I told you guys you can always use vinegar to tenderize your meat. Or again, the best and cheapest way to tenderize your meat is just enda pale chini kwa mtaa. Go there, get that pineapple wanapima 10 bob. Squeeze the juice, sprinkle on the meat when it's still raw, and then put it in your fridge for like 30 minutes. Get it out of that place and you're going to boil your meat for less than 20 minutes. I can tell you for free. You're going to enjoy that. And after that, after you have done, maybe you're done with the cooking, your nyama won't, maybe your beef won't smell any type of pineapple in it. So we are very observant so that we don't mess up our meats. You can see how it's coming out nicely. I told you guys this is going to be a very nice. So we are now going to our last spice, which was the cooking powder. It's here. This is actually 1 tablespoon. If you are very careful, you'll have realized that you're not using too much of these ingredients. You can put this back here, and then I just mix. And I've put it when it's totally in powder form. I've not mixed with water. It also helps us make a very thick paste of the wet fry, and also adds flavor and taste to the meat. So you can see that. Wow, this is nice. So we're going to cover this for like 30 seconds, and then you open. Remember, cooking powder is normally already processed, so it's not supposed to cook for too long. So I want to take you again through the measurements of the ingredients we have used. Number 1, we had half a kg of beef. It was well chopped into cubes. From that one, we had 2 medium-sized tomatoes. We had 1 large onion. Waswahili wanaita kitunguu maji. Ndio kuna kitunguu saumu na kuna kitunguu maji. So hapa tumetumia vitunguu aina mbili. Kuna kitunguu maji, which is the normal onion we use at home, and then we have garlic ambayo inaitwa kitunguu maji, only 3 cloves of garlic. And then now the other thing we have added is black pepper, which was 1 teaspoon, and then we have come to adding another spice, which was curry powder. I told you curry powder is a mixture of many other spices. So if you put curry powder and you end up adding garam, you add cumin, you add ginger, you add onion powder, you will have food that is very spicy. Because curry powder is a mixture of all those, including bay leaves, including parsley, including cinnamon, and the ginger and many other spices are in the curry powder. If you have any question about this curry powder, you can also send the message on 22047. You're going to respond. Or you can also call the numbers that are streaming live down there. So you can see we are done. Guys, it's been... I never disappoint. When I tell you we are opening after 1 minute, it's exactly after 1 minute. If it's 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes. So you can see. our wet fry is done and very well cooked. So from here it can be served with either ugali and sukuma wiki, cabbage, or whichever greens you prefer. Or those who love kienyeji, you can do nice kienyeji. Yeah, and from my home we can do some nice mrenda. So from Western, we love mrenda. So that is it. I think you can see how it has come out. And I can assure you, before I test this is super tasty. But how will I know? I need to test. So I'm going to take just one piece, put it here. And then I'm going to take this. I have no comment, guys. This thing is tasty. Super tasty. Try this in your house. Try this even just after this show. Put your ingredients together and try this. You're going to love the idea of this wet fry. Simple, not complicated, ingredients that are readily available, spices readily available. There's nothing complicated here. So thank you guys. It's been a wonderful time having you. I want to assure you that our next show is going to be amazing. But again, as I've said, you can do this with sukuma wiki or any other greens you prefer. Me, I'll do with sukuma wiki for today. But thank you guys for following up with maybe following up about the meats or the beef. We meet during the sukuma wiki show so that we can add on this and make some nice ugali for supper. Thank you guys. Hey guys, I'm back now. I told you I'm going to make some sukuma wiki to take my beef with it. I think if you've realized, this is actually a very nice and short recipe. Just sukuma wiki and the normal beef, but with some trick of some nice simple spices that you can find anywhere. So this is going to be taken with ugali. I don't want to tell you how this tastes now because you just have to prepare it for that recipe and get whatever that I'm going to get inside my taste buds right now. So Maze guys, thank you so much. It has been a wonderful show. I hope you have learned something. Next time, of course, next weekend, next Sunday, you're going to tune in. We're going to have another very amazing recipe. It has been the Throwdown on TV47. It's been a pleasure having you guys here. We always enjoy having your viewership. And of course, there is 22047 down there, a very short SMS number. It's toll free. Write your message. Let us see what you think about the show. Let us get your interest on what you want to be done and what you want to be improved. Or maybe if you also want to be our guest on the show, you can also tell us, hey guys, I want to be a guest on that show, na nataka nikuje. And we're going to see how to work that around and get you on this show. So Maze, without due much and without going into so much detail, go to Facebook. I Cook You Eat. ICOOKUEAT. It's also a very nice place for you to get all this stuff. So it's been quite a wonderful time having you guys here. My name is Khabani Mrila, your host all the time, anytime. Let's tune in again on next Sunday, 6:30 p.m. as usual, for such beautiful things. Asanteni.
Wet fry beef. Half a kg of beef. Quarter cup of cooking oil. 2 medium-sized tomatoes. 1 large onion. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 tablespoon of curry powder. 1 tablespoon of Royco powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. 3 cloves of garlic.
My name is Bishop Dr. John Warari. I come to you to give you hope. Follow the instructions of the Ministry of Health. We have been told to sanitize, to clean our hands as often as possible. As you wash your hands,